All right, guys. So next up, we're going to have Dr. Thomas Romero join me. He is, of course, my partner in crime, my partner in life, and my partner in business. And he specializes in clinical neurology. So now we've kind of learned a little bit about how mold can be present in our homes, steps we can take to identify the presence of mold. And I kind of want to talk to Dr. Tommy a little bit about if we don't have visible mold, if we don't have a huge liquid leak, how else can we tell if mold is present? And that would be the symptoms that it can make us feel. And I'll kind of start this conversation kind of telling a little bit about our story with our daughter and what we experienced there. She, moving into this new rental home, broke out in full-blown eczema to the point of not being able to sleep. Her behavior changed. Her appetite changed. She started losing weight. Your hair was falling out. My hair was falling out. We had black circles under our eyes. I had horrible environmental allergies start to happen that I never experienced before. And I was after the dogs, I was after the pollen, I was after food, I was after everything under the sun trying to problem solve. I'm pretty sure I threw out every synthetic fabric in my entire home, replaced all of our furniture and our mattress 5 times, went a little mama bear crazy. Went to every specialist in town, allergists, dermatologists, pediatricians, not trusting my own instincts, just kind of being told, oh, she'll grow out of it, put steroids on it, here's some allergy medication, Claritin is the answer, Benadryl is the answer. I wouldn't give any of that to my child. So I was just stuck there pretty much being told there's nothing that I could do. There's no answer. It's a brand new house. Move on, and mask the symptoms with a medication, which is always the answer of traditional medicine nowadays, unfortunately. And I didn't stop digging. So, after the huge impact this started to have on our life, we purchased the ERMI test. We got an air quality test from our landlord and kind of started the whole rigmarole of showing them the results, showing them the symptoms, showing them the allergies, the reports from all the doctors in town, and eventually led to us getting out of the lease. 2 weeks after moving out, my daughter completely cleared. So it's not unreal, I guess. As a mama bear, you have to follow your instincts. If you think something is not right, you need to advocate for your family's health, and that's what I chose to do in this instance. So, Dr. Tommy, thanks for joining me. Not that you had a choice. Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
And can you kind of go over a little bit of symptoms that we could experience if we were exposed to mold, and some of your thoughts on how that can make us feel or affect our health?
Absolutely. So mold is kind of a tricky substance to work around. Can you really quick try to log in here real quick? So let's start with what exactly is mold, fungus, and what is the differentiation here? Mold is multicellular, whereas fungus is unicellular and can also be multicellular. So it's a little more complex of a structure than your typical fungi. When you have mold or you have fungi, you have to realize that there has to be some kind of decaying organic matter present for the fungus, essentially, to really take hold of and actually absorb its host to grow. So another thing that you need to differentiate is that you don't internally create mycotoxins. You are ingesting them. You are inhaling them. You are actually getting in contact with them through your skin, and you can absorb them also through your skin.
And I think that's a really cool point, because I don't think a lot of people realize that, there's foodborne mold, there's foodborne fungus, you can ingest it, you can breathe it in, but its presence on surfaces can also be transferred into your skin itself, and that can lead to mycotoxins. And mycotoxins are the compounds that are produced by molds
Correct.
that we have health issues with. So one type of mold can produce multiple mycotoxins.
Correct. And that's what I was getting into, is that the presence, depending on the mold strain that you have present in your home, it can be a variety of symptomatology that the individual is going to experience. And there's so many different levels to the severity of which mold you can be around. And, we've all heard black mold. We've all heard of these really bad mold strains that are actually, when you spend too much time around them, they can eventually lead to the decaying of human life. So what I really want to hyper-focus on in here is when you eat mold, you don't get as quick of a negative reaction as you would long term. Yes, you can ingest some mold and maybe have like an upset stomach. You can feel some negative symptomatology, but the most severe symptomatology I think that a user is going to experience is when you have a long term exposure to the mold. And that is again going back to what we were just talking about, living in a home where the mold has been present and maybe you weren't aware or aware, and you are inhaling these spores, these mycotoxins daily, and you're getting this long term exposure. Mycotoxins are one of the only substances that can cross the blood brain barrier. And because of this, it is actually able to infect and attack your brain. And when this happens, it opens up the door to a number of different symptomatology that the user can experience, from fatigue, brain fog, even things that people don't think of traditionally when you think of getting sick, like mood changes or even changing the way that you think. These can all be symptoms of mold um, being present in your home. It can be symptoms that you are getting exposure. Now, a quick list of symptoms that we can go through: shortness of breath, anxiety, red or swollen eyes, sensitivity to light, irregular heartbeat, stiff muscles, insomnia at night, lack of concentration, increased urinary frequency, swelling, burning, lips, tongue, wheezing, depression, rashes or hives, watery eyes, headache, sensitivity to sound, stiff joints, daytime sleepiness, forgetfulness, itchy skin. Very long, dry list, but the key point is you're getting a compromisation to your immunological systems when you have this mold exposure. And when the mold starts impacting your organs and starts impacting your system, your body goes into an anti inflammatory storm overdrive, and it wants to detoxify and excrete these mycotoxins out of your system. So your body has no more room to carry any pathology, no more room to essentially take in any more stress or inflammation from the outside world, because it's already pushed to its limits on battling off what's already it's dealing with, what it's being exposed to.